Today's NFL Daily Video is presented by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety tool, and they're giving you a free trial, 14 days worth, cancel at any time, at aura.com/chatsports. We'll tell you more about them later on in today's show, but we have Mel Kiper's 2023 NFL Draft Big Board, the way too early version, 25 players in total. Let's take a look at what Kiper has them ranked in his early version. No real surprise here early on. Will Anderson, the pass rusher out of Alabama. I have zero complaints about this one whatsoever. I think had Anderson been in this year's draft class, he would have been the consensus #1 pick. Now, there's an entire year of football to be played for Anderson and every player on this list, so there is plenty of projection involved, but what we saw last year was wildly impressive. Now, if you want more free NFL videos, including, but certainly not limited to, some Mel Kiper quarterback rankings, some running back rankings, and a whole lot more, you've come to the right spot. Hit that big red button and subscribe. I know as we sit here filming this on June 1st that the NFL offseason is kind of winding down and slowing down a little bit. We are not. Daily videos every single day, multiple times a day, right here at Chat Sports. Number 2, Bryce Young, the quarterback out of Alabama, and we'll just jump in and discuss these guys together. Number 3 is C.J. Stroud, the quarterback from Ohio State. Stroud has the better frame, talking about listed size, quote-unquote, 6'3", 215 for Stroud, 6 foot 194 for Bryce Young. Both of these guys were very impressive last year, and this conversation, who's the better prospect, who's going to be quarterback one, who will end up potentially being the #1 overall pick, that conversation is going to be had pretty much on a weekly basis. Maybe one of them impresses a bit more so, maybe one regresses, but both of these quarterbacks are very quality prospects here. So who would you rather have on your team? Type in BY for Bryce Young or CJ for CJ Stroud. Who is your quarterback one in the early version? Sound off in the comments right now. Rounding out the quote-unquote consensus Big Four, it's a little early for a true consensus, but these are the hype guys the most. That is Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman from Georgia, who maybe was the best player on that Bulldogs defense last year. The numbers were not elite, but the film absolutely was. Great frame, 3 technique. He's going to be an early defensive tackle pick in this year's class. Time for our pinned question of the day. Who is your favorite prospect in the 2023 NFL Draft? Any prospect, doesn't have to be your best, but the favorite guy who you like the most as we sit right now. Like I mentioned, it's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know your favorite prospect in the 2023 NFL Draft. Another Ohio State player, that is Jaxon Smith-Njigba out of Ohio State, the receiver. Really good route runner. A lot of his damage came from the slot this past year. Will likely play some more outside. You might have saw the bowl game. He's a very, very good football player. A bit of a surprise name this early, and that is Clemson defensive lineman Brian Bryce. And a very talented player, 5-star recruit in Clemson. Played at 4 games last year, tore his ACL in September. The traits are there. This is very much he takes a major step forward and finally lives up to the hype that has surrounded him. So far in his career, he's got 5.5 sacks. And now he hasn't been the most healthy player, has the size, has the athletic ability. A lot of projection involved with this one from Kiper. I'm down to put him in the top 25, and this will either look really, really smart from Kiper or not so much. Number 7, my tight end one, Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. He's awesome. The Notre Dame offense was at its best by a significant margin when they simply ran the throw it to the tight end play, and they should probably do more of that this year. He's not quite Kyle Pitts, but he's pretty damn good. Eli Ricks, the LSU to Alabama transfer, who showed some promise in 2020, then got hurt in 2021, made the transfer, had the off-the-field arrest recently. Talent-wise, there's no doubt about it. You just got to make sure that he's locked in and focused this year at Alabama. Now for an actual LSU player, not a transfer, that is Kayshon Boutte, the wide receiver from LSU. Again, only played in 6 games last year, but was really dynamic when he was out there. There's a lot of ability here. Quarterback play will dictate just how productive he is, but as receiver 2, I have no complaints about that whatsoever. Aura is the newest sponsor here at Chat Sports. If you haven't heard about them, allow me to explain what they are. They are an all-in-one online safety tool that offers financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, and online and device security for you or up to 5 members of your family. And they're giving you guys a free 14-day trial for being an NFL Daily Watcher when you head over to aura.com/chatsports. That link will be in the comment section and in the description. If you're like me, if your phone gets lost or hacked and they can figure out your password and whatnot, you're in trouble because I use most of the same passwords like most people do. Or helps you shop, bank, and work online more safely and proudly because, let's be honest, we do all of our stuff online. It's 2022. Like, that's just how the world works. So you need to try out this free trial. It's free, after all, right? Cancel at any time, by the way. 14-day free trial, aura.com/chatsports. Link will be in the comments section and in the description. A running back, Bijan Robinson, out of Texas. Now, he got hurt again last year. Common theme on these guys, right? They all got hurt. Junior, he's so dynamic when the ball is in his hands. Running backs are being valued less and less. Robinson, if he stays healthy, is going to be a first-round pick this year. Another Northwestern offensive tackle, Peter Skoronski, who might have to move to guard. He's not listed as that big. There are some length concerns, but he's pretty well polished as a technique player. Didn't get beat that much last year for Northwestern. Only, I think, 11 pressures allowed overall, which is a really great number for a tackle. Length concerns, not a great offensive line class. Early looks right now, but Skoronski could very well be tackle 1 or offensive lineman 1. Here's QB3, Tyler Van Dyke, who I actually like Kiper putting him at number 3 on his list. I was very impressed with how he played as the season went on, but he got better and better and better. I hope I'm not going to get burned by Van Dyke, because I have been burned by other Miami Hurricanes QBs in the past, but in what is appearing to be a better quarterback class, I like Van Dyke here at number 12. Time for the shocker. Anthony Richardson, who completed in only a handful of starts, under 60% of his passes. He was 38 of 64 for 529, 6 touchdowns, 5 INTs. Great dual threat. I have heard the absolute highest of hype from him from various Florida people, and other people have not been nearly as high. This is a big if, which is what Kiper himself wrote. If Richardson lives up to his talent, 13 might be too low. If he doesn't take a significant step forward, we're going to come back and look like, why was Richardson that high? Getting away from Dan Mullen might very well be a good thing for Richardson, but this is all projection on this one, and that can look smart or not so smart. I do think Richardson would qualify right now for the underrated prospect. So I want to hear from you. Who is an underrated prospect, as we said in the way, way too early version? There are plenty of them because, let's not on a secret, draft media is always playing catch-up to the actual NFL team. So drop a name or names in the comments right now. How about this? An Army player in the top 15. The last time Army had a first-round pick, 1946. The last pick before the 7th round, 1969. Andre Carter will snap that streak. 15 and a half sacks last year for Army. Love the size. Listed at 6'7", 250. Consistent football player. I'm glad to see Kiper. A little bit high for me. Maybe more like 25 would have been better, but he's going to get some top 50 buzz, I promise you. Paris Johnson, who is expected to move to left tackle. The Buckeyes was a guard last year. Fared pretty well in that area. It's not a great offensive line class. A lot of projection here, but Johnson certainly has the traits. Baylor defensive lineman here. Let me make sure I get the pronunciation right. Siaki Ika, the big boy along the front, 6'4", 350, his listed size. He's not Jordan Davis. He's not. But if you want a run-stopping nose guard, Siaki Ika does fit that mold. Another Clemson player, that is Myles Murphy, who had 7 sacks last year. He is a pure edge, but he did get some reps as that reduced inside player. So he is a defensive end with some maybe 3 technique and obvious passing downs reps there. I would not be shocked if Murphy outplays the other Clemson defensive lineman, Brian Bruzzi, this season. USC transfer Jordan Addison, who was, I'm sure, seriously considering Texas and others, was definitely not going to go to USC no matter what. Blitnikoff Award winner last year at Pitt. Now he gets Caleb Williams as his QB in the Lincoln Riley offense. He's going to put up big numbers this year. Do you want even more NFL draft videos, including Kiper quarterback rankings, running backs, and other 2023 NFL draft coverage? If you do, type me in the comment section so I can show, hey, James and Brett, see, look at all these me's. Makes me help the bosses with my pitch. Number 19, Isaiah Foskey, the edge rusher out of Notre Dame, listed as an outside linebacker by Kiper. He is an edge. 11 sacks last season. There's a lot of traits here. I don't think the polish has been quite all the way there, but I think he's going to have a big-time breakout season. A corner, first time we've had one of these in a while here. Cam Smith, great length. The ball skills are certainly there. I think he is a bit overlooked to an extent, so I was happy to see Mel put him on his top 25. All right, number 21, another corner. That is Keely Ringo out of Georgia. He had the pick 6 against Alabama in the national championship game. That might be what you remember him the most for there. Good length, good size. Consistency isn't always there, but there's plenty of traits, and I think he'll take a big-time step forward as he enters his third-year sophomore season. Here's Will Levis, and this range makes a lot more sense to me than like pure quarterback 3. He has the arm. He has the athletic ability. The consistency is not there. So if it develops this season without Wan'Dale Robinson, mind you, I think we'll be feeling really good about Levis. There's a lot of upside here, but he is not a finished product by any stretch of the imagination. So I am not sold on him, but there's an entire year of football still to be played. We got 5 QBs. 5 of them in Mel's way too early 2023 rankings. So take your early prediction here. How many quarterbacks end up going in round 1? Let me know in the comments. Our first off-ball linebacker, Noah Sewell. Yes, this is Penei Sewell's brother. Versatile football player. I don't know how elite of an athlete he is. I think he's pretty good overall, but for an off-ball linebacker, he probably goes pretty early this year. Time for some tweeners. That is, first up, Antonio Johnson out of Texas A&M. Mel comped him to Daxton Hill. I don't hate that comparison. Johnson's a little bit bigger. He did a bunch of different things for A&M, was almost their chess piece on defense. I like him quite a bit. I was happy to see Mel put him in the top 25. And then there's Trenton Simpson, who 6'3", 230. Is he an edge or an off-ball linebacker? I am honestly not sure. He had 6 sacks. There is some pass rush ability, but he's also 230 listed size. That's not big enough for an everyday edge. So talent is there. Figuring out his role will be important this upcoming season. Maybe add 10, 15 pounds. I think we all feel better about him being a pure outside 3-4 linebacker. But his exact role is a bit of a hybrid role, which works great in college, does invite some questions as it relates to the NFL, but he's a damn good football player. That was Mel's top 25. Who did he leave off his list? If you made it all the way to the end, thank you guys so much. Let me know who you think Mel Kiper's hating on in the comments.